Welcome back to Healing Out Loud, where we get real about the moments that change us, the ones that don't always come with closure, clarity, or clean edges. I'm your host, Nye, and today's conversation hits deep. We're talking about grief while unraveling betrayal. Because grief isn't only about death, sometimes it's about losing what you thought was true. It's mourning the version of a person or a relationship that you thought you had. Let's be honest. Betrayal has layers. It's not just the act itself, it's the aftershock. It's the moment your body realizes that something you trusted wasn't real. And that kind of loss, that rupture, triggers grief. It's grief that doesn't fit neatly into the 5 stages. It's not a funeral. There's no sympathy card for, I lost my peace because someone lied. But it hurts just the same. When betrayal happens, whether in a relationship, friendship, family dynamic, or even at work, there's a part of you that starts to question your own judgment. You replay conversations. You overanalyze every red flag you ignored. You ask yourself, how didn't I see it? That's grief too. You're mourning your old self, the one that trusted freely. You're grieving the version of you that hadn't yet learned this kind of pain. Betrayal changes how we love and how we show up. And sometimes the betrayal itself isn't even the hardest part. It's the silence after. It's when you realize they're not coming to explain. You have to build your own closure from the pieces they left behind. And building closure for yourself, that's the power move. Because if you wait for the person who broke you to repair you, you'll stay broken longer than you need to. Sometimes you'll ask yourself, like, what am I holding on to that no longer exists? But that's grief. When you're ready to heal, the question will then become, am I ready to let it go, even if I never get an apology? If you're listening right now and you're in that space, I want you to hear this. You're not crazy for still feeling it. You're not weak for missing someone who hurt you. You're just human. Grief isn't a timeline, it's a teacher. And betrayal, as painful as it is, often reveals what needs to be rebuilt, not just around you, but within you. Rebuilding after betrayal isn't about revenge or reconciliation. It's about recentering your power. You can love again, just differently. You can trust again, more wisely. And you can grieve without staying stuck. A question I want you to ask yourself is, what am I grieving that I still need to release? And what truth am I ready to accept so I can finally start to heal? The thing is, you can't heal what you keep pretending didn't hurt, and you can't rebuild while still living in the ruins. For me, this revelation came out of a place of a lot of pain, a lot of unraveling, a lot of ruminating, a lot of trying to figure out what was real from what wasn't. And to be honest with you, I was going in circles and I was driving myself insane because truth can't exist where there's falseness or where people love chaos. Truth only exists in clarity. And unfortunately, being in a interdependent relationship that requires both parties to play a role, if that other person doesn't want to provide you clarity or lived in lies, you will never get that clarity and that truth. So I have had to basically piece myself back together after a post death betrayal in a sense. I say post-death because a lot of the things that I found out were after the transition. So I have to, in myself, realize that there will never be a apology. There will never be an explanation. There will never be reconciliation. And inevitably, there will never be redemption. So if I want to move forward, I have to move forward. I can't wait for those who wronged me to come back around and say, hey, we realized what we did and we apologize, because realistically, the pain is already there. The deception and betrayal are already there. So no matter what they say, it's inside of me now, which means I have the power to control what I allow it to control. I will not embrace the role of victim. I will not embrace the role of a grief-stricken person that is bitter or angry or anything like that. I am learning to accept reality for what it is. I am learning to accept that sometimes you will be deceived, and sometimes you will be betrayed. But what I've learned is that if we were really honest with ourselves, I doubt any of us can ever truly say that we didn't see the signs or we didn't ignore some flags. And I think for me, that is the hardest part of the betrayal. It's the ways I've betrayed myself. It's the ways I've dishonored myself and ignored what my true self was saying in hopes of being wrong. So when you make decisions and you ignore your inner self, your true self, you are essentially betraying yourself. And then when external betrayal happens, it's kind of like a thick layer of pain, because not only are you trying to unravel what that person has done, but you're trying to unravel what you've done to yourself. And that, my friend, is one of the most difficult things you can ever take on, because it's easy to blame someone else. It's easy to deflect onto someone else. But when you're able to look at yourself and say, I did not value you enough to remove us from certain situations or certain people. I did not value you enough to protect you. I did not value you enough to believe in you. When you have to look in the mirror and say those things to yourself while in the midst of grief, while in the midst of still having to live life and take care of children and make an income and still work and pay your bills, when you are not allowed to basically disappear and rebuild, when you have to rebuild in the midst of your rubbles, that is work. That is work, and that is challenge unmatched, because you never truly see how hard it is until you're in the thick of it. Because grief comes in waves, right? I know they say it comes in stages, but those stages are not always clear cut, because you can be happy and crying. You can be angry, but at peace. You can have so many combinations of feelings that it can't be outlined in black and white. I am unraveling a lot of pain and a lot of anger. But in the midst of that, there is relief. There is peace. There is understanding, and there is hope. All of those emotions typically don't go together, but that is where I stand. I feel that as a society, we are told how to grieve. We are told how to be. We are told how to be angry. We are told how to forgive. We are told how to exist. But it's not always applicable to everyone in the way that it's outlined. Sometimes grief looks like dancing. Sometimes mourning looks like thinking of great memories and being happy about it. Sometimes mourning is angry and it's dirty and it's dark and it's messy and it's chaotic. But then healing comes and it helps you to organize and it helps you to clean up the mess and it helps you to declutter all the things that you're still holding on to that no longer serve you. It helps you to make space for new feelings, for new people, for new experiences, for yourself. Healing allows you to rewrite your story and see where you went wrong, but not beat yourself down. It offers you an opportunity to show yourself compassion and helps you to navigate the waters ahead. It helps you to see how you have maybe, perhaps, violated yourself or betrayed yourself or dishonored yourself. And instead of beating you down about it and making you feel bad and making it a lifelong punishment, healing teaches you how to armor up while going into situations but still remaining soft but protective. I think I've experienced enough betrayal, enough sadness, enough pain, enough unhappiness that I am full of it. Like, I've had enough. I'm good. I can't swallow anymore. I'm ready for ease. I'm ready for softness. I'm ready for peace. And that by any means necessary will be accomplished. I have existed in other people's disarray for too long because I absorbed it instead of observed it. I'm learning the difference. I am a former people pleaser. I am a nurturer by nature. I am a healer by nature. I'm a lover by nature. But this world has shown me that you have to be very selective, and discernment is key when it comes to who you choose to allow access to yourself. And I had to learn that by understanding my worth. Instead of viewing of who I can have access to, it then became who deserves access to me. I am learning this new state of grief because, for the most part, all of my other losses or deaths have been, at least a degree, separated. This one in particular is hard because I'm very close to it, and it is very much engulfed in my life. It was a very big part of my identity for a long time. So, in a sense, mourning that loss is also mourning a part of me, and mourning a part of me that was stuck, and a part of me that was broken, and a part of me that relied so heavily on outside opinions. But in being in the grief of that, I'm also able to celebrate the birth of who I am today and who I will become in the future and who I am continuing to return to, because I was always that person. We are always who we are innately. What happens is that life, people's opinions, society, experiences knock us off our course. And we keep walking in the wilderness for so long that we forget our path. So I like to say that I'm returning back to myself. I'm returning back to my path and back to my purpose because I was always her. I always had it. I'm just now learning what to do with it I'm learning how to guard it. I'm learning how to protect it. I'm learning how to utilize it. And I'm learning how to value it. So, in closing, I just want to say that if you are experiencing grief alongside betrayal, allow yourself to feel all the feels. For too long, we've tried to put ourselves into this box of who we should be, what we should feel, who we should look like, blah, 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 etc., etc. Allow yourself to be. You're a human being. So be a human that is being. Allow yourself to feel whatever you feel, whenever you feel it. Shame-free, guilt-free. Allow yourself the freedom to live. Allow yourself the freedom to seek joy. Allow yourself the freedom to not let the betrayal stop you in your tracks. Allow yourself to move forward. Allow yourself to feel all that you feel. I wish you guys nothing but the best. I hope you are actively taking your healing into your own hands. If this has brought you any comfort or any understanding or anything value to your life, please consider subscribing. Please consider sharing. Please consider clicking the notifications so that you get notified when I do upload. And please just share. I want this to get out there because I feel like it's needed. I feel like we just need the freedom to be. And this is not a topic that is talked about often. Now, this is just the ice. This is just the icebreaker into the topic because I will be going deeper and I will be getting just a little bit more in depth on this process. And I hope that you all are truly well and you all are truly doing the work. Because what I will say is that when you do the work, this life becomes a lot easier. And I hope that you get to experience it. So for now, wishing you nothing but peace, love, light. And until next time, bye.